Ron and Vanessa. And Vanessa is our nutritionist, and she's going to be discussing with Ron and I about her nutrition plan for Ron. So, Vanessa, take it away.
Okay. Hi there, Ron. How are you?
Hi, Vanessa. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. So you and I already met previously, and we discussed your fitness goals and what you're hoping to get out of nutrition and all that kind of stuff. So why don't you give everyone a little bit of a recap of what you're looking to benefit from talking with me today?
I've gained like 30 pounds, roughly, 20. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, and I don't have a lot of core muscle strength, body strength, like doing push-ups and that sort of thing is not at all easy for me. In fact, it's not at all. So, and so getting some strength training and, dealing with nutrition and having like food ready so that I don't have to prepare regularly, like that just makes it easier for me, so I don't have to spend a bunch of time preparing meals. In fact, the less time I spend preparing meals, the happier I am. If I could do it 5 minutes per week, that'd be great. So
Yeah.
And it's not really practical. So
No, if anyone could do it 5 minutes a week, we'll figure that out. We'd all be really rich. So
yes.
Unfortunately, but we can definitely help you with some batch cooking and teach you some recipes so that all you have to do in the morning is throw something into the toaster or pull something out of the fridge, maybe sprinkle something on it, and you could eat and get over. But unfortunately, your prep time to do that will probably be 1 to 2 hours a week to get those meals prepared so that you can do that. So
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You previously did lose some weight.
Yeah. In 2016, I had a little problem holding things in, and for about 3 weeks, and I couldn't leave my apartment as a result, and so I ran out of food, and so I did a less intermittent fast for about a week and a half. Not so intermittent, like continuous, and that started for me. It seemed like a possible reset. And so what I did after that is I just started eating only produce, like vegetables and fruits, and I would have eggs a couple of times a month, basically. And so I had protein from other sources, chia seeds, nuts, that sort of thing. And yeah, I lost about 60 pounds in 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't trying, it just happened.
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot of water at the time as well. I mean, like a few liters a day, because I was having a hard time feeling hydrated.
Okay.
I was feeling dry, like really dry. So I would have like 4 liters a day.
Okay.
That probably made a difference there too.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. What do you normally drink right now?
2 to 3 per day. Yeah.
2 to 3 liters per day?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's still pretty good. That's
Well,
do you drink anything else besides water?
no, I mean, I have milk, and so I will occasionally drink it, but primarily I just use it for other purposes.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you're also getting water, of course, from, fruits and vegetables and other things that you eat. And you don't eat very much meat. So I'm imagining you eat quite a few fruits and vegetables throughout the day. So
Oh yeah.
3 liters, that's good
Yeah.
consumption there for sure. Okay, so I put together a little bit of a program for you. Now you seem to have a pretty good baseline about what to eat and what kind of not to eat.
Mhm.
You know it's important to have healthy fats in your diet,
Mhm.
to kind of stay away from processed foods and bad sugars and things like that. So that's great that we don't even have to kind of try and get those out of your diet. So what we're just going to kind of focus on is how to eat. And I've given you recipes for the batch cooking. So we'll start with the how to, and then we'll go over a bit of the recipes at the end of this. Does that sound okay?
Okay. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Sounds good. So most important thing, number one, is don't eat unless you're hungry. So lots of people tend to think that they have to eat breakfast in the morning, because a lot of commercials on TV say, wake up, it's the most important meal of the day. Yes and no. It completely depends on your body and how you feel that morning. If you wake up in the morning after you've had your big glass of water, because you should be having a huge glass of water as soon as you get up to rehydrate your body, you will be dehydrated from sleeping. If you still feel that you're hungry and you need to eat breakfast, definitely, yeah, eat breakfast. Your body is telling you it's hungry and you should listen to what your body is telling you. But if you wake up, you have your big glass of water and you're like, I'm actually fine. You don't have to eat breakfast. You don't have to eat until you feel hungry. Okay? So just listen to the cues that your body gives you and eat when you actually feel hungry. Does that sound okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And then now when you do eat, eating until you're satisfied is super important. So sometimes when people are looking at weight loss and they're focusing on weight loss, they'll kind of skimp on the meal that they're eating because they're like, oh, well, if I eat less calories, I'm going to lose weight faster. So when they eat a meal, they don't eat until they're satisfied. And then what ends up happening to that person is they're starving by the next time they go to eat. And then they end up overeating, or instead of eating that healthy meal that they were going to eat, they end up ordering pizza or eating something bad because they're so hungry, they're craving things now. So whenever you do eat, please eat until you're actually full. Not like stuffed full, but you just don't feel hungry anymore. So it means that you're satisfied. Okay.
Okay.
So also there's no limit as to how many meals or snacks you can have a day. So there's a lot of, I don't know, different people out there that have different rules. Some people say eat one meal a day, intermittent fast for 24 hours, eat one meal a day. Some people say eat 2, some people say eat 3, some people say eat 5, some people even say eat 6 times a day because it's going to boost your metabolism, it's going to keep your metabolism up. Again, everybody is different. There's no rule that is 100% set for you, Mr. Ron. You need to do what you need to do for your body, right? So when you're hungry, eat. So one day you might end up eating 5 times in a day because you feel hungry and you need to eat 5 times a day. And some days you might only eat 3 meals. You might have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's it. You might not snack at all. So just listen to your body. There's no rule on how many times to eat a day. It's just based on how your body feels. So we're trying to get you back to like intuitive eating, which a lot of people have kind of lost the ability to do because we're just programmed to, you wake up, you're supposed to eat breakfast. You have a break at work, you're supposed to have a snack. You have a lunch at work, you have to eat lunch. You have another break, you have to eat a snack. You get home, you have to have dinner, and then you might be watching TV and think, oh, I'd like to have, a popcorn or a snack or whatever. You don't have to eat at all those times unless you actually feel like you need to eat. So what I tell people to do to help with that is when you feel that initial hunger pain, again, go back to the big glass of water. So an 8 to 16 ounce glass of water, chug it back, wait 10 or 15 minutes because you could be just dehydrated and think you're hungry.
Yes.
Or you might actually be hungry, right? So if you still feel hungry that 10 to 15 minutes later, then have your food, enjoy your food.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing to go along with that is no counting calories. So whenever I deal with people that are trying to lose weight, I find whenever you get them to count their calories, they become so obsessed with those numbers that everything just kind of evolves around your caloric intake or your macros for the day. And then what they'll start doing is they'll start dropping their macros and stuff down because they'll see that, oh, I'm losing weight. So what if I cut even more out? And what if I cut out even more? And more? And then we end up having a stalled metabolism. And eventually you're going to plateau and you can't cut it down anymore. And then you're grumpy, you're starving. Nobody wants to be around you because you're miserable. And then when you start eating again, you're going to gain all that weight back because your metabolism is stalled, right? And so then in the end, it's kind of like a lose-lose situation. So I don't focus on how many calories my clients eat. I focus on the type of calories. So as long as you're eating whole foods, eat away, eat until you're satisfied.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Banana, have 2 bananas. I don't care if you eat 3 bananas in a day. It's a whole food, you know, just eat
Yeah.
when you're hungry.
Yeah.
So very important. And then of course, no eating while you're distracted.
That's
So
that's
that
going to
one's
take
hard.
some practice. That's definitely something I have not practiced. So yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of people have difficulty with that. Yeah. Do you typically like eat in front of the TV, or where do you normally eat?
The TV, the computer, like when I'm like take an apple for a drive, like if I'm going to go driving and I haven't eaten much, then I'll take an apple with me and have it and throw out the core.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, eating distracted is like a favorite pastime. So yeah, it's going to take some practice for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I find this one's one of the most challenging that people kind of struggle with because we are so used to eating on the go and we're so used to eating while we're doing multitasking, right? So
Yeah.
you're not focusing on your food, you're focusing on the computer that's in front of you, and you're just kind of like robotically shoveling the food into your mouth, right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to get you back to, again, listening to your body. So that means you actually have to pay attention to your food, right? So that's being aware of your food. So when you go to eat, you have your glass of water before you eat. You sit down with your meal, you smell your meal, you look at it. Oh, look how nice that is. You taste it, you feel the texture in your mouth. And you want to roughly, this is very hard, try to spend about 20 minutes on one meal. So that's not a snack. So if you're eating a banana, I don't expect you to take 20 minutes to eat a banana. That would be very painful. But any like true meal. So just sit down with it, try to have no distractions, try to have no phone, and try to like sit and enjoy the meal and try to pay attention to your chewing. You know, are you a shoveler? Do you actually chew your food? Because a lot of people, they actually find they don't really chew their food. They'll do like 4 or 5 and then they swallow.
Yeah,
Right?
I try to eat as fast as humanly possible. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And being a mom, I know all about that. You know, I'm trying to eat. I have a kid pulling at my leg. You know, you have dishes to do, you have laundry to do. I have all these things to do around the house. And so I got into a really bad habit of just shoveling my food. And then I noticed I had a lot of stomach aches and I wasn't feeling as well. And so I've taken the time to slow myself back down and eating how I know I should eat. And now when I chew, I take my time and my stomach feels better, my digestion's better, and I actually don't get that lull. You know how sometimes you eat and you get that kind of lull after you eat? You just
Like
kind of,
after turkey.
yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
that.
not just turkey for me. Yes, yes,
Exactly.
it happens often enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not consistent, but yeah.
Yeah. So that happens to me when I'm not paying attention to my food and I just shovel it down. And it's because I'm not breaking my food down. So my body has to do so much more work to break it down and digest it in my body. And so it takes all of my energy to do that. So when I take time to eat, I don't get that lull, which is really nice, of course, because nobody enjoys feeling like a nap, you know, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. So, and I know you were saying that you sometimes, you know, are driving somewhere, you haven't really eaten, you eat an apple as a snack in the car. If you have to do that, that's okay. You know, if you haven't eaten in a while, you're having a really busy day and you need to have a snack on the road from time to time, that's totally fine. I just want you to start with trying to focus on the meals
Yeah.
first, right? And
Yeah.
trying to learn that.
Yeah, it's okay to have like ambiance music in the background though.
It is
During
totally
the
fine to have ambient music in the background. Yeah, that is totally 110% fine.
All right, good.
And then also with eating, I also like my clients to enjoy a flex meal per week. So I find when people go to healthy eating, they get cravings. I mean, we're human beings. You're used to eating kind of a certain way. You've now cut all of that out of your diet and you're eating a lot healthier. So people get cravings. I don't know what your craving is. It could be chips, it could be pizza, it could be, I have no idea, cake. Everyone's different. Or could be wasabi, rice crackers right there. So
No, it couldn't be that.
yeah, minimum of one meal per week. I want you just to have whatever it is that you were craving, just and enjoy it 110% guilt free. This is your flex meal. This is the meal that's going to help you keep your sanity and keep you eating clean and healthy a lot longer. Because without the meals, you start feeling deprived after a while. And then you push it back, you're refusing it. And then 2-3 months down the road, you crack. And then it's not just one meal, it's 12 meals in a row, right? And you kind of fall completely off the wagon. So while you're just kind of aiming to lose a little bit of weight, I recommend one, maximum of 2 per week, because sometimes you've had one and then it turns out it's your friend's birthday party on the Friday and you had your flex meal on the Monday and you're like, oh no. Well, you can have the second one, but 2 maximum per week. And then once you've actually hit the point where you've completed your weight loss and you're at your happy point, I do the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, you eat healthy, you eat clean, you eat to nourish your body. And then you have that 20% flexibility to, have a flex meal or go out for, dinner with your mom or with a friend or whatever.
Okay.
So you have that balance in your life, right? You don't want to deprive yourself. And then the last thing I want to touch on with you is just sleep. So I know sleep isn't really part of nutrition, but it is part of nutrition, because when you don't sleep, you get cravings, right? When you don't sleep, you tend to eat more the next day just naturally, because your body needs the energy. And the only way it knows how to get it, if it doesn't get it through sleep, by eating more, right? And you'll find you'll actually consume more calories throughout the day when you don't get sleep. So
I was just going to say, I think actually my digestion is impacted by virtue of the fact that I don't sleep much. So, and yeah, that's actually an important thing to bring resolution to, because it impacts every area of my life when I don't get enough.
Yeah, it sure does. So I like you to aim for 7 hours of sleep a night if you can. If you need to start with 6 and get to 7, that's okay too. Speaking of cheating, I actually made some for you.
Oh, you
right
did?
here. Would you like to have some?
Well, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're very, very welcome. I hope it's delicious and I hope you like it.
We'll have to see. Yeah. Should I try it right now?
If you'd like to, for sure. Definitely.
Wow. Is that vanilla?
Oh, there's definitely vanilla in there. Wow, you have amazing taste buds.
I love vanilla.
Me too. One of my favorites, and it's very healthy for you too. So feel free to add it away.
Kind of tastes like xylitol too.
That's so funny. I don't remember adding that in there.
Well, I don't know.
Brad, would you like to try some?
Oh yes, I would. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Let's see here. Oh, you even put my name on my cup.
Oh, I just knew I was going to be sharing with you today.
Oh, thanks. Where's my spoon? Oh my gosh. Well,
I just have to.
You know what is in a cup? I'm just saying, How's that? Yeah? Fantastic.
Yeah. Mine's got orange zest in it.
Ooh. Very it's like a creamsicle.
Some people don't know that orange zest, all you need to do is like grate an orange on a grater. Get the peel grated off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great for making homemade chocolates too. So.
Oh, yes, it is. I think we have experience in that, Brad. I feel like we might have made homemade chocolate once
with orange zest.
Yeah. With orange zest and a million other ingredients, let me tell you. A lot of other ingredients. Sweet potato toast is another thing that I like to prepare ahead of time, and it's very, very good. Brad, would you like to try some sweet potato toast?
Yes, please. Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
Toast in a cup.
Yes, it's fantastic. So the sweet potato toast that Brad is eating there, super easy to make. I love it. It is a huge go-to in our household. My little 17-month-old eats it up like candy. So does my husband. And I just slice it up. You bake it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes at 400 degrees. And then I throw almond butter on it, mashed blueberries, all sorts of different toppings on it, and mashed avocado sometimes, some salt and pepper. Just kind of depends what I'm craving that morning. It's super, super easy. You just wake up in the morning, throw it in the toaster to reheat it, and top it off, and away you go.
I wonder if pumpkin seed butter would work.
Oh, yes, it does. It works
Yeah,
very well.
it does.
Yes,
Okay.
well.
I don't have any right now, but yeah, I'll have to consider
I
that.
would try that with cinnamon, pumpkin seed butter and some cinnamon.
Really?
Oh, and maybe a touch of vanilla.
Yeah.
Vanilla goes with everything, it seems.
Yes, you could. You could be like my husband. He loves honey, so he'll just put a small drizzle of honey on his, just like a little line down the center, and he'll put some cinnamon on it as well, and he really likes that. So as soon as I get home from the grocery store, my cucumbers, my carrots, my celery, anything that I like, my peppers that I like to eat in a salad, I chop it up before it even goes in the fridge. I take that time to get it ready.
Oh, really?
It's all in different bags because then anytime I cook, anytime I'm hungry, anytime I want a Buddha bowl or I'm just going to have a salad, it's all ready. It takes me no time at all. That's part of my meal prep, right? I just pull out the bag and I go, oh, I want some of this, I want some of this, I want some of this, I want some of this. I throw it on top of my lettuce. I might throw a cup of quinoa on top that I also made while I was cooking my meat. I've made a big quinoa for the week, right? And I throw a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of healthy oil on top, some salt and pepper, and away you go. Like, it's just so easy. But we can delve deeper if you want to.
Yeah. Like I said, 5 minutes per week. 5 minutes per week. That's my max as far as cooking is concerned.
But if you do that 1 to 2 hours a week to do your food prep, then it is 5 minutes a day after that, right? Like, to eat really healthy food. You just have to do the prep to get the food, because if you don't do the prep, then you end up eating stuff that's not healthy because it's easy, right? Or you just eat the same thing over and over and over and over again.
And over and over again, yes.
You tend to cheat more because you're just eating the same thing over and over. You have no, you don't have anything different in your diet. But I'll leave that up to you. If you decide you want to do that, I'll let you reach out to me. I love fruit. I think fruit is amazing. I think the more different types you can eat, and please, no fruit juices. So these are different. You blended it up, but do not drink juice, please, because it's just. And then vegetables. We want to try to eat the colors of the rainbow with our vegetables. All right. A lot of people I find like, oh, I eat tons of vegetables. I eat all sorts. And I'm like, what do you eat? They're like, I eat cucumbers, carrot, and celery. And you're like, and they're like, well, lettuce. And you're like, okay. So there's all colors out there. And the reason is that each color has different nutritional properties to it, right? So you want to try and eat, your purple vegetables. You want to try to eat your orange vegetables. You want to try to eat your yellow and try to eat all the colors. Same thing, buy whatever happens to be on sale at the store in that color code. So I kind of like wander around. I'm like, oh, eggplant's on sale. There's my purple. Check. Oh, next week beets are on sale. There's my purple. Check. Right. And I just try to do that. And then what I do is I take them home, and then any vegetable that's roastable, I chop it up, toss it in some olive oil or some coconut oil, put some salt and pepper on it, and then I stick it in the oven at 350 or 375, depending on which vegetables they are, for like 45 minutes, and I roast them up while I chop all my fresh vegetables that I'm going to use for salad. And then I'm done for the week. Like, literally for the next 6 days, I don't have to chop up any more vegetables. I don't have to cook any more vegetables because it's all done for me. It's fantastic, right? So, and then I have all the colors of the rainbow. So I'm getting all the nutrients that we need. Okay, moving on to legumes. So what I do for cheating, because I like things very quick and very simple, is I like to go for canned beans or canned peas or whatever, because when they're canned, they've already been soaking in liquid. So they're already broken down, because a lot of people can't digest them properly when you like buy them fresh and they're nice and hard. So they usually have to soak them for 24 hours, and a lot of people can't be bothered with doing that.
Yeah.
So I buy a can, just make sure you rinse them. And then once I've opened it, I just put it in a container in the fridge, and then I make a salad. I sprinkle some beans on it. I make, I have dinner that night. I put a quarter cup of beans on my plate. Breakfast in the morning, I even throw beans into my smoothie from time to time. Right? They're very, very good, and they're delicious. They're full of nutrients, and they're already soaked for me. So there's a quick tip on how to get a little bit more nutrients.
I didn't know that you needed to rinse them. That never occurred to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you go about rinsing them? Do you put them in a bowl first, or what do you do?
I have like a strainer.
Oh, strainer. Okay.
I'm like, what do you call it? It's a strainer. I don't know. But
No, I get it. Yeah.
There and then rinse it with water.
Water strainer. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And then I put them into the thing. And then grains. So do you eat a lot of grains? Because you kind of mentioned before that you don't, or you kind of alluded to it before.
I found that, well, I mean, I cut myself off from all grains in 2016, but then I started reintroducing in the spring of 2017, like up to 4 slices a day of bread. And if I was going to have potatoes, then a little bread, something like that. I've been a little more, like I've allowed for a little bit more flexibility there, but not by much. I don't want much in the way of grains, because I found, like even 10 years ago, I almost 10 years ago, I found that the more bread I ate, actually, the hungrier I became, which is interesting.
Yes. Well, it depends on the type of bread, first of all, big time.
Mm.
And then for some people that are carb sensitive, it gives cravings and it makes you crave more bread, right?
Mm.
I recommend eating like a sprouted, whole grain sprouted bread. And that it's lower on the glycemic index and won't make your blood sugar spike as much, and it shouldn't allow cravings to come in. Silver Hills makes a really, really good one. There's also Ezekiel bread that you can buy as well.
Silver Hills, Ezekiel, yeah.
Yeah, it's very,
I'm
very
familiar
good.
with those.
And then other grains, I do like to stay away from flour. So I know bread's made from flour. If it's a good quality bread, yes, you can eat a little bit of it, and that's okay. But I like to stay away from flour, because even when they grind up 100% whole wheat grains into flour, it still gets rid of some of the nutrients for you. And the nutrients in whole grains is really good for your feeding your microbiome. So I like to eat grains in the whole form if you can, but like cook them. So like whole grain, like whole brown rice, barley, buckwheat, millet, things like that in the form, because they're super filling, super nutritious, and you'll find you won't get as many cravings. And then also with that, you can do your pseudo grains.
The what?
Your quinoa.
Oh, pseudo?
Yeah, pseudo grains.
Okay. Sorry.
So tired.
Okay.
Your
It's all right.
grains are really, really good for you. They as well, they're just full of nutrients and nutrition. So just try to have, like, I usually tell people 2 to 3 servings of grains per day. So how I cheat with that is by, like I said, I do my batch cooking. So I'll decide, okay, I'm going to eat millet this week, so I'll make a big thing of millet, and then I'll add it to my meals throughout the week. Or I'm going to do all that week, so I add it to my meals throughout the week, right? And just make a big thing of it. So, or brown rice, or whatever you're going to do. So you can kind of pick 1 grain per week to make your life easier if you like to do it that way.
So what do you consider to be a serving? Like, is a slice of bread a serving, for instance?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And
so
if you're
bread or a quarter cup of cooked grain. A quarter cup of cooked grain. So like a quarter cup of your cooked quinoa be a serving.
I have no experience working with quinoa at all.
Oh.
At all. So I don't know what how to process it. I don't know what it would take to do that.
It's super easy. I think I sent you instructions on making sure that you toast it first. So yeah, whenever you go to make quinoa, so it's the same kind of thing as water, right? You have your 1 cup to your 2 cups of water, or rice, right? Your 1 cup to your 2 cups of water. But I take my cup and I heat my pot first, and I throw some either coconut oil or some olive oil in there. I put my quinoa in and I toast it. So you do that after you, of course, have rinsed it, just like rice. You should always rinse rice. I hope you know you should always rinse rice.
Before you cook rice, you rinse it?
Always, yeah.
I had no idea. Never heard of that.
Okay.
I've seen people who rinse it after, or wait, do they?
No.
I think no, that's spaghetti. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah, you rinse
I don't have spaghetti anymore, so.
So yeah, so with your quinoa, you rinse it first, and then you throw it in the hot pot with the oil. You toast it, and then you add your 2 cups of water. If you're doing 1 cup of quinoa, you put your lid on it, bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, you take your lid off. You turn your heat down, and you simmer it till there's no more water, just like rice, right? And then you like fluff it with a fork, and it's delicious. Except for rice, I think you keep your lid on it the whole time, because I often just use extra virgin olive oil. And I'm like super lazy. Like I take something acidic, so either like apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, a lemon juice from a freshly squeezed lemon, and I put about 1 or 2 tablespoons on. I just kind of go drizzle it, and then I take my oil and I go 1 to 2 tablespoons on, and then I take my seasonings and I go and my salt, and I'm done. Like I'm super lazy when it comes to doing salad dressing. But it's so good and it's so easy. And every salad I eat tastes different because I just use a different type of, vinegar or a different type of oil or whatever. 4 or 5 hours later, it will be thawed.
I gotta go, guys. I forgot I'm supposed to be meeting Lisa at 2:30.
Oh no.
Okay. I'll see you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye. I like how I just see him like, oh no, out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what is he doing? I thought he like bit his tongue or stubbed it. Oh, that's
Fun
so
stuff.
funny.